Here's how to play Houses of Knowledge, a game designed by Thibaut Devine with art by Zora Meyer. Before we get to setup, we'll need to work out which cards we need in the game. There are three different types of cards. There's room cards, item cards and action cards. If you're playing with the full complement of 4 players, you just need to have all the cards, that's fine. But if you're playing with any less than 4, you'll need to not play with some of the cards, so discard some of them. So let's take the room cards first of all. For each player who isn't playing, we'll need to take out one of each type of room. And there are 5 types of room: human history, modern art, science, natural history and archaeology. So say we're setting up for a 3-player game, we'll just take one of each of those and they will be out of the game, back in the box, and we'll just be left with these. Similarly for the items, we've got the same types, so we've got modern art items that go in modern art rooms, science items that go in science rooms, and so forth. For each player who isn't playing, we'll take out 2 of each type. So, say again for a 3-player game, we'll take out 2 modern art items, 2 natural history items, 2 human history items, 2 science items, and 2 archaeology items. So these ones will go back in the box, and these are the ones that we'll be playing with. For the action cards, this is a little bit more complicated because there are 11 different types of action cards, and we'll need to take out 1 of each, but we need to take out 2 guards and 2 accountants. So we'll take out an action card for the PR specialist, the taxidermist, historian, the critic, the daredevil, the collector, the disruptor, the futurist and the thief, and 2 guards and 2 accountants. So for a 3-player game we'll take out this set of 13 cards. They go back in the box, and these are the ones we're playing with. Okay, so we've got the cards we need, let's move on to setup. First thing we'll need to do is everyone will need an initial room. So, we take the room cards, we get 1 of each type, so human history, archaeology, modern art, science and natural history. Shuffle these up and give each player playing 1 card to start with in a museum. So player 1 will start with a modern art room, player 2 will start with an archaeology room, and player 3 will start with a human history room. And this goes in front of them to start off their museum. We'll be building up a tableau of rooms with items in front of us. The other 2 cards just go back in with the rest of the rooms and they get shuffled up. Just put those to one side for the moment. And then we get item cards. So we need some item cards to start off our hand. So from the item deck you take 2 of each type: science, archaeology, natural history, human history and modern art. Let's put the rest to one side for the moment. So this hand of cards, we're going to choose 2 cards each. So starting with whoever the first player is, so say this is the first player, they will get this hand of cards and choose one of them. They might choose to take a modern art item to go in their hand because they've got a modern art room to put it straight in when they start playing. So, and then it passes around to the next player and they will choose one, and then the third player will choose one, and then it goes back round the other way. So the third player chooses another card, then back to the second player who chooses the second card, and then the first player will choose another card. I'll take an archaeology item this time. Okay, and then these remaining cards just go back in with the rest of the items and get shuffled up to be the item deck. So now everybody has got 1 room in their tableau, starting off their tableau, and they've got 2 cards in their hand, which are both item cards. And then we need to set up the market. So this deck of item cards and the deck of action cards here, they get shuffled up and put to one side, one above the other. I'll just move these out of the way. because we now need to set up the market row. So we've got a set of tokens here with various numbers on. There's one for a first player marker, so that'll go to the first player. We've got 2 5s. One of those 5s will go over here next to the room cards. And these are showing that the room cards always cost 5. The rest of these tokens we'll place in a row here in descending order. So 10, 7, 5, 3, 2 and 1. And then we'll set out one of the action cards and one of the item cards in each of these spaces above and below. So, action cards, and item cards. And the room cards will have 2 available, so turn over 1 and turn over another one at the top of the deck. These tokens denote how much it costs to take one of these. So for example, if you were to take this one, it would cost 3. Finally, give everyone 10 money cash. So let's get into how to play the game. So I've skipped ahead to partway through the game, and I've managed to get several things into my tableau. I've got 3 different rooms, and some of them have got items in, and I've also got 1 guard that I've got down here. So, what do I do on my turn? The first thing I do is collect money. So, how much money you get free, plus anything that is provided by any items in your rooms. So, I get 3. 1 item here gives me another 2. 2 items here gives me another 6, which I reckon makes 11. So I'll be getting 11 money. So that's the first thing I'll do. I'll get 11 money cash to go with the 3 I had already. That makes me let's go with the 4 I had already. It gives me 15 money to spend this turn. I also have several things in my hand already. So, first thing I think I'll do is I'll take something from my hand, this modern art item, and play it into my room here. Anything that you play into your tableau, whether it's a room or an item, costs 2 money. So that will cost me 2 money. I will also buy this accountant for 1 money. So that's cost me 1 money. That goes into my hand. But then I'm going to choose to play that immediately. And I'm going to play the free action. You can see each action card has got 2 options. A free action and another action that you'd have to pay 5 to do. So I could pay 5 to discard a card from another player's museum, but instead I'm going to do this free action to immediately get 5 money cash. So I'm going to place that in the action card's discard pile and get myself 5 money. So I only paid 1 money for him and he immediately got 5, so that was worth doing. Ooh, I can see something else I can do here. I'm going to buy that historian for 2, which is going to go into my hand. There's 2. I'm going to buy an archaeology room for 5. Remember, rooms always cost 5, and that goes into my hand. I'm going to play the archaeology room for 2. And then I'm going to use this historian. Now the free action is just discard an archaeology item from another player's museum, but I'm going to instead do the paid action. So I'm going to pay 5, and the action of that is take an archaeology item from another player's museum and put it directly into one of your archaeology rooms, and I now have an archaeology room. So I'm going to use that to attack player 2 over here. So the action of that is to take one of the archaeology cards and steal it. However, they do have 2 guards, and any action which targets one of their items in their rooms, I have to get past their guards. Now, here is where the dice comes in. This dice has got 2 faces with blank sides, 2 faces with 1, a 2, and a 3. Now I've got to roll this to see how many guards I can just get past. Any that I don't get past, I'll have to pay for. So, I shall roll this, and it's a 1. So I get past one of those guards, but the other one, I have to pay an extra 3 money cash in order to do that action that I was wanting to do. As it happens, I do have 3 money cash, so I can do that. I could have chosen not to do it, but I am doing it, so I'll take that card from their room and place it in mine. However, there is a downside to that, because if at the end of my turn I don't have any more money, the last thing I need to do on my turn is pay this guard. If I don't pay 2 money at the end of my turn, that guard will disappear. So I could allow that to happen, but there is one more action I can do on my turn, as well as buying cards and playing cards. The other thing I can do is get rid of cards from my hand. So I could just take 2 cards, discard them, well, any 2 cards, and discard them, and get 2 money cash for that. So I will do that. I could use this last card here, but I think I'll keep that for another round. So I'll finish all my actions. Then the last thing I need to do is pay my guard, so that's 2 money cash. So I'm keeping my guard next time. And then that's the end of my turn, and we tidy up a bit. I have to check whether I've got too many cards in my hand. If I've got more than 5, then I have to discard down. I've only got 1, so that's fine. And if I were to discard, it'd be discarding at random, so you'd just allow a neighbour to pick a card at random from your hand if you had to discard anything. So, end of my turn, I will set out another room there, so there'll be 2 available, and these will slide down, so they will get to the cheaper end, and then we draw some more out at that end. And then it moves on to the next player. And we keep on going, everyone taking turns, until either one of these cards, these decks has run out, in which case we just finish the round. So this is the first player, so we'll just go until everyone's had the same number of turns, and then we'd finish. Or the other way it could finish is if one player has 8 items in rooms in their tableau, then that triggers the end of the game, possibly. Because if that happens, so someone gets 8 items, then you finish the current round, and then play one more full round, and then you check again. And if there's still somebody with 8 items or more, then that is the end of the game. However, it's possible that, say, I've got 8 items here. I'll just get a couple more. There's a modern art item, there's a natural history item, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and still another archaeology item, 8. So I've got 8 items in my thing, so that will trigger the end of the game. However, by the time we finish that round and played another round, people may have stolen or discarded some cards from my hand, or from my tableau rather, and when we come to check again, I would no longer have 8 items in my tableau, so then we would keep on playing. However, eventually the game will end and we will get on to scoring. So, let's cover scoring next. Okay, so here's my tableau at the end of the game. The scores will be from various different things. I've got 4 rooms here, but you notice that 2 of them are the same, so I've only got 3 different types of room. The scores, you get 3 points each for each different type of room. So I've got 3 types of room, so that's 9 points. and I get 2 points for each room. So I've got 4 rooms, so that's another 8. That's 17 points so far. Get 1 point for every 5 money cash you've got. I've got 13 here, so that's another 2 points. I get 2 points for every guard you've got remaining. Remember, you can get guards during the game, but you have to keep hold of them by paying them every single turn. So I've managed to keep hold of this and keep on paying him, so he's still here, and he'll give me 2 points at the end. And then, the majority of the points probably comes from the items, because you get 3 points for every single item here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items, which is another 21 points. I make that a total of 21, 23, 24, 25, plus 8 is 33, plus 9 is 42 points. So whoever's got the most points wins.